In this lesson, we are going to use ChatGPT to create a cool project from scratch without knowing anything about coding. So in this chapter, we are going to create an application that we can run it on our computer. It doesn't matter if you are using Mac OS or Windows or Linux, okay? So we are going to create this application, and when we run it, um, we can create and or generate passwords for some specific tools, save the password with the given name, and then store it on our computer. So every time that we need it, okay, we have a vault, and then we can click on each of the password, see the password, and use it for logging in, right? It's really cool project. It's very simple, but it may come handy or useful for you. And as I said, you don't need to have any coding experience. ChatGPT will do all the work. So here we are. I'm using ChatGPT 4 on the default version. So I'm going to write down the prompt. First, I'm going to explain what is the main task, and then I will provide additional information. So this is the first part, the main task. I said that I want you to create an application with the topic below. Password generator, an application that generates strong random passwords and save passwords with a specific name. So when we click on the name, it shows the password. Now let's provide additional information. All right, here's the second part. And I said when we run the code, it must open the application and have a space to generate, okay, generate password and adding a name, okay, at the top. And then under it, it should show the list of other passwords that we have made before. So I want our application to look like this, that at the top, we have a place, for example, to select a name and then a button to generate password. And then when we click on it, it will save it. And under it, we will see a list of old passwords that we made. Now, the key here is to provide information, okay? The more detailed information you give to ChatGPT, the better it can create data application or whatever you need. So let's provide more information. Okay, for the next part, I wrote, I want it to have a cool modern interface with a dark theme and big buttons and or fonts. Okay, so I'm talking about the design. And then I said, create all the required codes using Python. I mentioned what language it should use. And don't worry if you don't know what language you should use, ChatGPT itself can suggest a language and use that language. But in this case, I just wanted us to use Python, right? I also am, and I mentioned that we are using VS Code as the coding editor, and I like round corners and add some empty space between different elements inside the application. I provided these information to make our application look a little better and more understandable, okay? And for the final part, because we want to save our previous passwords, I want to mention that I want it to have a database. Okay, so I wrote down that I want it to have a database to store the passwords we generated before. Okay, so here is the prompt that I wrote, and we may improve it based on what ChatGPT will provide us. And I will put the final result of this prompt inside the next article. Okay, so if you don't want to write it yourself, you can copy and paste it from the next article. So let's press enter and wait for the ChatGPT to respond. First, it will explain what we have to do, what we have to install, so we can use this application, we can create this application, okay? So one thing, since we are using Python, we have to come here. Let me show you. We have to come here. And if you are using Mac, you should come to the search bar and write down terminal, okay? If you are using Windows, um, as you can see inside this screen, you have to come and open CMD, and then inside it, you should write the code to install some of the softwares that we need. For example, here it asked us to install this specific module so we can use it for our application. And also, if you don't have Python, you can come here to Google and write down download Python, okay? And it will bring the Python website for you, and you can download the final version. Or if you require some older versions, all of them exist here, okay? So download Python, right? After you download it, install it. As I said, it's very simple and straightforward. Then we come here, we use this code to install this module. So I'm gonna copy this code and come to terminal or CMD on Windows, paste it, okay? I already have it. That's why it is showing me error. For your case, it will show you the installation. And after I installed it, let's come here and see what we have to do. So we have to create a Python file named passwordgenerator.py and then paste the following code inside it, okay? So that's all for now. Let's do that. I'm gonna come here to our VS Code, okay? First of all, here, I created a folder on my desktop. Here inside AR course, I'm gonna create a new folder and I'm gonna call it password generator, okay? Let's add a number at the beginning so we know this is our first project, okay? Let's sort it, right? So here we have this project and I'm gonna open it inside my VS Code. You can come here to files, click on open folder, and then I'm gonna go on my desktop and my project and AI course, and then 01-password generator. I'm gonna open it here, and then it is asking us if we trust the creator of this folder, and yes. Let's close this part, and here we need to create a file, and the name of that file is password_generator.py, okay? I'm gonna come here. If you want to create a new file or if you want to create a new folder, here are the icons. So I'm gonna click on new file and paste the name. So this is our Python file, and here you can see the Python icon, and I'm gonna come here, copy this code and paste it. Okay, so here is our code. It imported some modules and it wrote some codes here. And before you save it, you see here it is showing us a circle, right? And when we save it, that circle will be gone. It means that our project is saved. Now, let's see what we have to do next. All right, it is telling us that this is a very basic application, right? And it gave us a code if you want to close the database, but it's not necessary for now. And when you're done, okay, we just copy it and paste the code. I'm gonna click on this play button here to run the Python code. And then it opened an application on my computer. Here's the application. It opened on my other screen. The colors are not very good. We don't see anything, right? Now, this may happen sometimes when you are creating an application, okay? Because we are not sure how the code should be, or we don't have any coding experience, we may face some issues like this. Now, there are different ways to overcome this. Either we can mention to ChatGPT that, all right, the code that you provided has these problems, but in my experience, especially in this part that we don't have any coding experience, if you just try it a couple of times to regenerate the response, okay, it may provide a better code to you and fix the issues, okay? And I'm showing you how to do this because, as I said, since you don't have any coding experience, ChatGPT every time provide a different solution to create or to complete the task we asked for. And along the way, we may face different issues, okay? And I want you to see and learn how you can overcome these issues, okay? For example, we tried it one time, it didn't work out, it didn't look so good, okay? and we tried it again. Okay, maybe this time ChatGPT provide a better codes, or we can also come here to the main prompt and make some changes so ChatGPT understand what is our issues and fix it for us. Okay, so let's wait for this code to get ready. Let's click on continue generating, and we can copy and paste the first part. So here we require a code to paste this Python code in it. It didn't mention the name for it, right? So we can name it anything. It just mentioned that first install this module, which we already did. And secondly, this is the Python script. So I'm going to come here to our VS Code. I removed the earlier codes that we had. I'm just going to write down, for example, main.py. Okay. And I'm going to copy this code inside it. Okay. Let's save it. Let's scroll down and see what else we have to do. It provided some additional information about the codes it wrote, and I think we can run it. So let's come here, click on display, and okay, the application opened. Here is the application, okay? And so here we can select a name. For example, let's say I want to create a password for my Facebook. So I'm going to write down Facebook for Puya account, okay? And let's click on add password. This password added here. I'm going to select it, okay, and click on show password. And here is the password, name Facebook-Puya, and this is the password. Click OK, right? That looks fine. Let's do it again. Let's say I have Instagram, and again, this is for, let's not write a name, okay, my Instagram account. Add that password. Let's add, for example, Discord. Add that password. Let's write down Amazon. Okay, let's add that password. Okay, so here we have different passwords. We can select them. And let's click on Instagram and show password. Here's the password for Instagram. Discord. Here's the password for Discord. And as you can see, it is a strong password. Okay, it's long. It has different characters and signs inside them. So this way we can generate new password for ourselves on our computer and save it in our own vault. Now, if you pay attention here inside our project, a file was added, which is called passwords.db. This is a database. So the passwords that we have created earlier, these 4 passwords is stored inside this database. So if I close this, okay, and if I come here again and click on play, and if I bring the application, you can see my old passwords here, and it's showing me the similar passwords that it created the last time, okay? So this is how you can create this project, create this application. As you can see, it was really fun and it can be really useful. And I wanted you to see the obstacles along the way and how we can fix it. Now, on the next lesson, we try to make this application a little bit better. I want you to learn how to debug this program or any code that you created, or how you can tell ChatGPT to make some changes, right? So that was all about this lesson. I will put this prompt on the next article so you can copy and paste it if you wanted to. And then I will show you how you can make some changes in this application. So see you on the next part.